listening to the What the Wrestling Podcast, the show that brings you all things wrestling with your host, RJD.
You already know what time it is.
Perfect.
AEW. AEW, ladies and gentlemen. Nope, not time yet, not time yet. Listen, AEW review. Jade Cargill is officially with WWE as of, yesterday or 2 days ago. Things are getting shaken up all over the wrestling landscape. We got Wrestle Dream this weekend on Sunday. We got a lot going on, a lot to get into. Let us not waste any more time. Hold up. Before we do, follow me. RJD here. RJD 199 on the Twitter, aka X. We got RJD TV on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch. RJD TV 2 for all you gamers out there. And of course, we have What the Wrestling on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. I will be revamping this today, so look out for a new opening screen the next time I go live or put up a video. It is coming for sure. But before we get into anything, let us not waste any more time. Let's go. Yes. It's I, RJD here. Welcome to What the Wrestling. As always, hit the goddamn like button. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. It's a little chilly up in New York City today, but we got a lot going on, and we are going to talk about it because AEW Dynamite was okay. I mean, it wasn't the best Dynamite in the world, but we had a lot of story progression. We had a lot going on, so I'm not going to sit up here and complain. We got a pay-per-view coming up on Sunday, Wrestle Dream. So we got a lot to get into. We got a lot to talk about because there's a lot going on. And unfortunately, Mr. Bebe himself is hurt. So we don't know what's going on there. And for the first time, I think AEW has ended on a cliffhanger. Like, what, really? A cliffhanger? Yes, a cliffhanger. We don't know what's going on at the end of this show. So, let's start at the top. First things first, we had Rey Fenix versus Jeff Jarrett for the International Championship. Basically, we had Rey Fenix versus the entire TNA family going on here, but not Jay Lethal, sorry. Yeah, Rey Fenix versus the entire Jeff Jarrett TNA clique. But fortunately for him, he was able to win with an inside cradle, and he ends up beating Jeff Jarrett. Thank the Lord. Now, obviously, we know Mox is hurt, so he was hurt. We don't know how long Mox is going to be out. It's going to be a lot going on there. So I would assume that they're going to run with Rey Fenix. And then when Mox is ready to come back, Mox will come back, take the title, and then they will continue where they left off with Mox. But hopefully they give Rey Fenix a couple of wins here, a couple of big wins over some notable people. Maybe they'll give him a big win on the pay-per-view coming up. Hopefully Mox is okay. But that was all in dandy, good stuff for the opening bout. Then we had MJF taking his daddy's boat on Long Island and trying to cheer up Mr. Adam Cole. And as he was about to sock him over his head with a Dynamite Diamond ring, the fans were actually like,
Nope.
gasping for air, like, no, don't hit him. Because he was saying, hey, it seems like you got a lot of, like, you've been really cool with Mr. Roderick Strong, so what's going on there? And he's like, listen, man, you wasn't going to hit me over the head and, throw me overboard, were you? He was like, oh, of course not, man.
Nope.
But at the end of the day, he puts the ring back in. He says, listen, man, part of being a good friend is realizing you can have more than one good best friend. And he's my buddy as well. So there you go. They end up having a beer, talking it out, and they have a big catch. And it's like, what the? They did that about 3 times. What the? So after that, they caught Captain Insano, or Captain whatever the hell you call him, Big Show. They caught the Big Show. They all shared a beer afterwards. It was funny. I loved it. Very entertaining stuff. But we would hear from them later on in the day. So that is going to happen, and we'll get to that when it comes up. Next things up, we had Don Callis and Konosuke Takeshita. They are in Japan. Weird.
Bruh.
They went all the way to Japan to look for Kenny Omega, apparently. But they found themselves one Kota Ibushi. And they beat the holy hell out of him.
Stop it. Get some help.
So we had a video package of them in Japan. Then Renee Paquette brings them out with Sammy Guevara. He is introduced as the new person in the Don Callis family. But then all of a sudden they beat the holy hell out of Ibushi. And they tell Kenny, you can't hide from anything. And we have Takeshita, Sammy, and Will by God Ospreay. So that's a badass group right there. Looking forward to see what they do with this group, because 3 fantastic wrestlers, with arguably one of the best wrestlers, if not the best wrestler on the planet right now. I would love to see him and Danielson go at it. I think they could tell a phenomenal story. Give them 30 minutes and let them just go crazy. So we had a video package of Ricky Starks talking about he survived Bryan Danielson, and which he did. He lost, but he survived twice. He passed out, and then he couldn't get to the 10 count. So he's like, as far as I'm concerned, I'm here. Danielson's here. But then Wheeler Yuta said, hey, man, I come in peace. I'm coming to show you I respect you. They talk a little trash, and he says, listen, you know what I really think of you? I think you're a coward. I think you're entitled, and I'll show you what I really think of you, and let's have a match. TK makes it official. So they're going to be having a match at Wrestle Dream. Seems fine. Ricky Stark's probably going to win that, but I ain't mad at it. Then we had Nick Jackson, Brian Cage, and Claudio Castagnoli. They had a nice little triple threat match, and Nick Jackson wins, earning himself a title shot versus Phoenix next week. This comes when they have that crazy ass match a couple of years ago, Nick Jackson and Rey Fenix, where they just shut it down on Dynamite. Prepare for part 2, because I'm sure they're going to shut it down again. The Righteous deliver a message to Adam Cole and MJF, saying that they're going to beat them up at Wrestle Dream. Cool. And then we have Adam Cole and MJF coming out. And unfortunately, Adam Cole reveals to us that he is injured and out, and he needs to have surgery. Story time for Adam Cole, baby. Did not go well.
Stop it. Get some help.
And everybody was upset. But at the end of the day,
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Adam Cole's got to go away for a little while. Now, I have no idea what the plans are going to be. I have no idea what they're going to do or what they intended on doing. I think Adam Cole's going to turn on MJF eventually, but This sucks because MJF now says he's going to fight 2-on-1 versus the Righteous. So we'll see how that goes, and we'll see if he actually wins or loses that. I would think that they would take the title off of him and Adam Cole, because Britt Baker put up a picture of Adam Cole's broken ankle, and it looked crazy. So who would think that one simple little jump off the ramp would shatter? And it's not like Adam Cole's old. He's in his 30s. And one little 4-foot jump off a ramp, 3-4-foot jump, shatters your ankle in 3 places. She put up the x-ray and all of that. Now, unless they're capping.
Stop the cap.
How dare you?
Adam Cole ain't wrestling no time soon. He gonna be out for at least the rest of the year, especially if he has to have surgery. This is wrestling, so we don't know. They could all be capping here, but why would they put up a picture and all of that unless they intend on throwing us off the scent? You know, if he just had a twisted ankle, then cool. But this looks way worse than that. So Roderick Strong ends up coming out during this story time with Adam Cole, and Roderick Strong basically says, listen, you're hurt, I'm hurt. You know, I'm your friend, Adam. He's doing that annoying ass Adam thing, which is okay. And MJF says, listen, I understand that's your friend. I'm your friend. You can go. It's all good. And he went to go talk to Roderick Strong. And right after that, here comes the Switchblade Jay White. Now, I was like, wait, what?
Surprise, motherfucker.
This looks interesting. And they basically go at each other. MJF calls him tofu. Switchblade says, listen, you were handed everything. I made myself in New Japan. I am the Switchblade. I am the what he said, the Bang Bang Gang. And they went back and forth. Now listen, it was a nice little back and forth. And they were about to fight. But Switchblade said, you know what? I'm off this.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Bruh.
He left. But I am very much looking forward to seeing where they go, because MJF is in a lot of stuff right now. You got MJF with Switchblade. You got MJF with Roderick Strong. You got MJF with Adam Cole. He's still the champion, so you still got to find somebody to fight MJF. So, assuming that they lose the titles on the pay-per-view, which you really don't want to see a world champion losing, but he is the babyface here, so we'll see how this goes. They're going to run with it because it's the most compelling thing in AEW right now. Assuming that he loses the title, he's still the world champion, so you still got him in all of these different feuds, so you can take this in many, something in my eye. You could take this in many different places, so I'm very interested to see where they go with this. I love the Jay White addition to this, but we'll see at the end of the show. Jay White has his own problems, and we're going to see what's going on there. So that was that. Jim Ross had a sit down with Christian Cage and Darby Allin. Very intense. Mr. Turtleneck himself said he's going to leave out Luchasaurus. He talks some junk about Darby's uncle, saying he hides behind a face paint and all this other stuff. Darby says, listen, I ain't scared of you. You leave Luchasaurus, I'll leave Nick Wayne, and let's just fight. This might set up for a surprise.
Surprise, motherfucker.
We'll see what happens, but I like this. Very intense. Like all of these guys. This is great stuff here. Then we had the Orange One versus Penta, El Cero Miedo, Matt Jackson, and Austin Gunn. Fun Canadian Destroyer spot. Everybody hitting destroyers on each other, which is great. Orange Cassidy wins this. This was fantastic. Nice match. I mean, the wrestling in AEW is always A1, and the wrestling in this match was fun while it lasted. I think it might have went 10 to 12 minutes. Good stuff here. Orange Cassidy wins. Orange Punch. Call it a day. Can't be mad at this. And Matt Jackson took the pin. Good stuff. Then we had something that was surprisingly, to me, very, very great. Julia Hart versus Willow Nightingale. Well, I guess I guess on another show, Julia messed up Willow's eye. So she came out. She was very angry. And Willow and Julia had a good big girl, little girl match. She was throwing her power around Julia Hart. Julia did end up getting the best of her. And Julia ended up winning with the moonsault. So listen.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Just like I shout out Liv Morgan, who's gotten really good in the ring. Just like I shout out Britt Baker from the time she started till now. She's gotten really good in the ring. Much better. Julia Hart. What's the Sky Blue's matches are increasingly getting better. There's another woman that I big up too. Julia Hart has gotten really good. And Julia Hart is only 21. This was a good match. I like Willow. Willow is excellent at what she does. And shout out Julia Hart for building herself up and becoming a credible challenger to Chris Statlander, who is great. I love Stat. Glad she's back. Hopefully those knees hold up. We'd love to see it. But I really like this match. She was getting beat up in there, came back, put her submission on at the end of it. Chris Statlander came down for the save, and she had Big Brody King there to protect her and said, "We'll see you Sunday, Stat." This was great. Man. Let's give this a thumbs up, man. This was great. Good stuff. Shout out. I almost want to see her beat Stat. I do. I almost want to see Statlander lose. And let's see what Julia Hart could do with the title. Give the House of Black something else to... I don't know if she's been built up enough, but if this House of Black, there's going to be shenanigans. There's going to be Black Mist maybe. And maybe Julia Hart beats Statlander and they run with Julia Hart for a couple of months. And she keeps putting in good matches. Maybe they have a good story. Maybe Stat works her way back around to her. I don't know. But anything to get the House of Black on TV, I'm all for it. That was your main event. So, yet again, good stuff, ladies. Swerve Strickland and Hangman ended the show by trading verbal jabs at each other. Swerve is like, listen, we are nothing alike, and you got handed everything. I'm better than you. Hangman says you can't fill my boots, but if you think you can, you can't, and we will find out what happens. And there was a bit of violence, but security came in and stopped them from fighting. I really want to see this match. On top of the fact that I think there's some, to me, I don't know. I'm not an insider or anything like that. I don't know what's going on the inside, but there seems like a touch of, just a hint of realism here. Just a hint of realism that Swerve really does feel the way he says he feels. And, we'll see. I don't know. I'm not in the know, but it just feels like there's just a touch of realism here. Can't wait to see that match. That's going to be fantastic. Hope those guys get 15 to 20 minutes to shut it down. Then we got Jay White getting beaten up by 5 guys in mask. And then there's one guy in a devil mask. He looks at the camera, and then they fade to black. Right after that. So that is how AEW went off the air on a cliffhanger. So, like I said, could that be Andrade? Could that be Roderick Strong and those boys beating up Jay White? I don't know who it could be, but there's a lot going on with MJF and this storyline at the top. A lot of storyline progression in... Did I talk about the Nick Jackson, Brian Cage, and Claudio? Yes, I did. I think I did. Yes, I did. There's a lot going on with the story progression with this show. It is very, very good. Very interested to see what happens on Collision. And I'm very interested to see if we get any surprises a la Adam Copeland / Edge. I really wonder if we're going to get any surprises on Sunday. I really do. When I review Collision and SmackDown, I will give short predictions on this. We'll see what happens here. But I'm very much looking forward to this. This is going to be great on Sunday. It's going to be great. Real quick, want to talk about Miss Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill ended up showing up at the Performance Center. She is officially signed with WWE. She had an ESPN interview, if I'm not mistaken. She had 3 years in AEW, and now she is on her way to WWE. Really quick, do I think she's going to be in NXT? Hell to the no.
Nope.
There ain't no way. There ain't no way that woman is going to NXT.
Get the fuck out of here!
Not happening, not possible. What I think is going to happen is they might show her on NXT, maybe real quick, once or twice or whatever. But she probably is going to debut at the Royal Rumble. They might just, because you got to look at how they're debuting her. She's getting the red carpet treatment. She has this whole ESPN interview. They're pushing her in the media. They're like, ooh, we got Jade. We got Jade. This lets me think maybe Edge is gone and maybe Edge will be in AEW. Christian is over there. He probably got other friends over there. So you know that's gonna be a big deal to get a WWE Hall of Famer in AEW. So they're treating Jade like a very, very huge AEW hire. Like, look, we've got Jade. Oh my God, big star. And they're giving her the superstar treatment. Remember, WWE passed up on Jade first time around. She went to AEW. She became a big star. So she was a star. She had matches with Shaq, and she's close with Cody. Cody helped her out. They had her training with Bryan Danielson to get her better in the ring. So even though people have shitted on Jade, talking about, oh, her work rate this, her work rate that. Listen, she doesn't need to go in there and have a 5-star classic like Sasha Banks and Bayley. She physically, Jade is the second coming of China. I mean, physically, she looks like she's tall. She was a freaking fit model, I think, a fitness model or something like that, for God's sakes. So Jade was already she has physical gifts. She doesn't look like any of the other women. She's bigger than all the other women. Her physique is fantastic. So all she needs to do is go in there and put in decent matches and be a spectacle. She doesn't need to be a workhorseman. She could be a spectacle just like she was in AEW, but on WWE, AEW really didn't know what to do with her, but in WWE, they're going to maximize her strengths and they're going to minimize her weaknesses. So she's going to get the superstar treatment. She's going to get the I can remember Beth Phoenix, China, but she's going to have that larger than life appeal that they had, especially China. I think they're going to give her the superstar treatment for real. And she's going to be pushed to the moon. I think she can have good matches. Listen, she's going to get better. Everybody keeps shitting on her. But listen, was Braun Strowman the best in the ring when he got there? No, but Braun Strowman got increasingly better as the years went on. Jade is going to get increasingly better, and her working with a whole new crop of women, and she's got Cody over there to help her with her storytelling. Like, Jade will be fine. She wasn't the greatest workhorseman, but she's not going to need to be in WWE. She's going to need a few signature moves. Make sure you're safe. She gonna be A-okay. Trust me. And people are going to tune in just to look at her, and they're going to market her as larger than life. So Jade will be fine. I think it is a big pickup for WWE. I think she'll fit right in on Monday Night Raw. Don't put that woman on SmackDown, please. Don't put her on SmackDown. Even though SmackDown needs women right now, her SmackDown is looking like Rhea Ripley. Liv is out right now. SmackDown is Rhea, Raquel, and that's it. Like, nobody else. That's SmackDown. But Monday Night Raw, at least she'll have more people to work with. It'll be better. They got 3 hours to fill. So she's going to be all right over there. But look out for Jade. Happy for her. She's going to kill it in WWE. I have no doubt. So, with that being said, that's all I got for you guys today. I am out of here. We got SmackDown tomorrow, which means Saturday there's Collision, which means right after that we're going to have SmackDown Collision review on top of, we're going to have to find out my predictions on Wrestle Dream on Sunday. Yeah, back to pay-per-views. I think Wrestle Dream is going to be a good show. No way we don't get Wrestle Dream without getting at least one surprise. I think we're going to get at least one. So we'll see what happens. So with that being said, I'm out. Everybody be safe. Enjoy the day here in New York City. Be safe, everybody. Peace.